welcome to another presentation of Omnibus WebGUI 7.4. My name is Faizan Ahmad, and today I'll show you how to disable the WebGUI session timeout. When or why do you want to disable the WebGUI timeout? This is particularly useful when the organization uses WebGUI AEL to display all the events on the big screen. So if we don't disable the timeout, after a certain amount of time, the user will be kicked out and then he will need to re-log in. In today's presentation, we will first go through the list of files that we need to modify, and then in each file we will go through which parameters that we need to update, and then finally we restart the WebGUI server. To start off, I just want to show you where the steps are located on Knowledge Center. So if you go to an Omnibus Knowledge Center, you can do a search for WebGUI 7.4 session timeout, and then from the search result listed, you just pick 7.4. Alternatively, you can just go to administering the WebGUI, administering the server, and then click on the changing timeout setting. So in this page, the first part is basically telling you which files you need to change in order to modify the timeout value, if you want to make it shorter or you want to make it longer. But the section that we want to look at is actually at the bottom of the page. So you actually have to modify 3 files to disable the timeout. So we have the deployment.xml, the security.xml, and the server.xml. And then in the middle column it listed the parameters that you need to change, and on the rightmost column is the value column where it specifies the value that you need to set in those files. Now let's jump to a terminal or a console. So my current directory is tip home profiles. So I actually have exported tip home as the tip directory. And then now for deployment XML, we will change directory to where the file is located. Okay, let's see where the file is. So deployment.xml, it is always a good practice to make a backup of your original file before you change it. So I usually do a move into a .org file and then just copy that .org to the original file name. So in that way I can preserve the timestamp of the original file in case I need to refer to it in the future. Okay, now that we are in deployment.xml, we just look for the keyword invalidation timeout. So I think there's only one invalidation timeout parameter in this file. So the default value set is 30 minutes. So based on the procedure, we are just going to set it to -1. Okay, now that we are done with deployment.xml, we can go to the next file, which is security.xml. So from tip home directory, it's under profiles, tip profile, config cells, tip cell. Okay, make a backup of security.xml. And let's edit the file. Okay, the parameter that we need to look for is timeout. So the default value is 1440, and that would be in minutes if I'm not mistaken. So let's change that to 2147483647. Alright. And the last file is server.xml. Unfortunately, in Knowledge Center it doesn't tell you where this file is actually located. So we're just going to do a find. So from the profiles directory, if we do a find, we can see that the last file, that will be the correct one, because the other files listed are all templates. I'm sorry, under the templates directory, so that would not be the right one. So make a backup of that file. Okay, now look for the parameter called Invalidation Timeout. Okay, looks like that's the only one in that file. So the default value is 30 minutes, so we want to set it to -1. Save the file. That's it. So now we just have to do the final step, which is to restart the WebGUI server. Okay, in my environment, I've already exported path to include the location of the stop server and the start server script. So in this case, the server was still running. So we're just going to stop it first. Wait for the server to stop. Alright. Now let's start it back up again. So there you have it. It's fairly straightforward. You just edit some files and then restart the WebGUI server. I hope you enjoy this video and thank you for watching.